Welcome to the Let's Talk Basketball podcast. Here is your extra handsome host, Reese. That's right, guys. Welcome back to episode 3 of the Let's Talk Basketball podcast. And it's an insane topic for you today. Me and my special guest, Adam, are going to be predicting the NBA draft coming into, when we hit it in October. So, Adam, thank you for joining me here.
Yeah, no worries, mate.
So, going into the draft, what are your sort of feelings?
Well, I'm a Knicks fan, so didn't win the lottery again. Yeah, if there's ever a draft not to get the top pick, it's this one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Between 1 and 10, it's very even, I feel.
It is like after you hit after Edwards goes, after Ball goes, after Wiseman goes, you sort of hit anyone can be pretty good. Like I was looking, just looking at the mock draft, which I'll go through in a minute. A lot of people that were top prospects, going pretty much middle of the road, maybe even top 5, are now going 20th. I can't remember who it was, but we have someone mock draft wise.
RJ Hampton dropped a lot.
Yeah, RJ dropped loads. So, just going to go through the mock draft quickly. First, they have Anthony Edwards going. Then they got big LaMelo Ball coming in from overseas. The big man, James Wiseman. Killian Haynes going 4th. Denny, I'm going to be rinsed in the comments or wherever for these names.
Avija.
That's it, Avija. This name's sick. Obi Toppin, what a name. That is class. He's going 5th.
Who's that to?
Yeah, predicted to go to the Cavaliers.
Yeah.
Then, is it Obi? No, that was Denny. 6th, Obi going to the Hawks. Yeah, no, I was thinking that. Because they've already got a point guard. So what's the point? Onyeka Okongwu to the Detroit Pistons. Tyrese Halliburton going to your Knicks.
Oh.
that is a poor choice. Basically, again, if you don't get the lottery in this, you just kind of flopped, really. 9th, we're going to go for Devin Vassell, who's going to the Wizards. And for the Phoenix Suns, Isaac Okoro. What are you thinking about that then?
What, Okoro?
Or just the entire mock draft in general? Some
questionable ones in there.
Yeah. I a lot of people expected Wiseman to be in there just because he's huge. But does he, is he a lottery pick?
Played 3 games, in college.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not a massive fan.
Nah.
I'm not... see classic Whiteside.
Yeah,
so
Whiteside went pretty much. Didn't he go undrafted? So that's kind of
round, I think.
Yeah. So it's kind of a bit redundant as to Wiseman coming in. And it's he's there because he's big. That's pretty much it, right?
He's a good athlete though. He can run.
Oh yeah,
so fast.
So I think we should go into each individual team. Starting at the number 1 pick, we'll go from the Timberwolves. What they should do, who's going to go where, or in fact, what they should do with their draft pick. So we'll start with the Timberwolves. I'm going to say that I think they should just go and draft Anthony Edwards. He's a shooting guard. And I think D'Angelo Russell, Cat, Edwards, that's fire. Right there.
Yeah, I've got Edwards 1. Very boom or bust, though.
Really?
Getting Oladipo with Dion Waiters, so...
he can't be as right now starting at shooting guard. They've got Malik Beasley. Do you see Edwards taking the place of Beasley?
Yeah,
straight away.
Beasley 6 man.
Oh, of course, yeah. But do you think they should or they could draft anyone else? They've got an aging Joe Johnson. They could draft in Wiseman and kind of use Cat at the power forward. That could potentially work.
For me, the only one in the whole class who's any chance of being worth a top pick is Edwards for me.
Yeah.
I'm not confident he'll do it. The shot selection is terrible. The defense he can do it, but he's very hit or miss. I think that's the problem. He's
Yeah,
very off and off.
but like the Timberwolves have kind of just lucked out completely because they've got D'Angelo and Cat, and adding a first like the first pick of the draft is unreal. I mean,
They're not taking ball. They've just
no,
traded for Russell. They're not taking the ball out of his hands already. That won't happen.
no, definitely, and I think yeah, it's too soon for But Ball, I think Ball needs to go somewhere where he's going to shine as well. Like Lonzo got
They
drafted
need to
to
shoot
LA.
around him.
Yeah, Lonzo got drafted to LA. I think. Well, I mean, we'll get onto the Knicks in a bit. I think New York would have been the ideal scenario for Lonzo Ball because of the massive city and the marketing behind it. What about you? What do you think about that?
Oh, I don't want him.
You don't want his dad stripping off like he did on Raw.
No, for me, he's not the best point guard in the class.
Yeah,
controversial one, but
who would you say is the best PG?
Killian Hayes.
Yeah, Hayes is a really good choice for any team.
Footwork for an 18-year-old is immaculate, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I think LaMelo just comes in because of the whole he's tied into Lonzo and the whole ball the baller brand and
the passing's special, but there's so many other red flags. It's like
he's got a bit of a bad attitude as well. Like you see in all all the clips and stuff. Like he's got he's so moody when he wants to be. So we're saying for the Timberwolves, Anthony Edwards is going.
Edwards, 1,000,000%.
Anthony Edwards. So moving on, we've got number 2, Golden State. What do you think what do you think Golden State should do in this situation?
They're trading it.
You think?
Yeah.
What trade could they do to make their roster better? I think
depends what they can get. It's going to be
Yeah.
Wiggins in the 2. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
The big 3 are getting old. They can't be waiting around for Wiseman.
That is, I was just saying that. Like, I have a potential draft for Wiseman because Steph and Clay are about to return. Obviously they got Draymond as well. But they shouldn't. I mean, they shouldn't be they shouldn't be going for a point guard. You can still get a couple years out of Steph. Clay could be on his way out as well potentially. There's definitely no point in trading the second pick and Klay Thompson because I mean, what's the point in not having the Splash Brothers there?
No, they'll just trade the pick. Wiggins.
I think Wiggins is on his way out. What team do you think suits a second round pick plus Wiggins?
The plus Wiggins part makes it harder.
Yeah.
Phoenix probably do it.
Phoenix. Oh, what could they offer though?
Oubre and 10.
Oh, Kelly Oubre, yeah.
Maybe Mikal.
That's a really interesting one. To get Wiggins with Book. I think the key for the Suns is just don't lose Devin Booker. Like he's untouchable at this point. Like they should not be letting him go, and if they do, it's got to be for a high price. That's for sure.
I saw the Knicks rumor as well. Mitchell Robinson for the 2.
Mitchell, like who would you want to draft over Mitchell? Like over keeping Mitchell Robinson? What's the point? Like, I mean, Mitchell Robinson has his downsides for sure, but he's not the worst. He's still got loads of room to grow. If you give him someone to like sort of mold him into a different player, he could be one of the best centers in the league. I mean, look at what Bam Adebayo is doing right now. He could turn into a defensive beast if he starts to not be as lazy as he is.
Stop fouling start as well.
Yes. So what we're saying for Golden State, they're going to trade it. Absolutely. All right. So we'll move on to the 3. We've got the Hornets. It does get tough when it gets like teams like the Hornets because they're not exactly the best of teams. Like Golden State have a bit of a foundation. Timberwolves have quite a young and good foundation, whereas the Hornets they're kind of they kind of got nothing. They could have definitely benefited from getting the first round, the first pick.
I reckon Wiseman is going
You,
in.
do you think Wiseman's a fit for the Hornets?
It's the wrong pick, but they'll pick him.
Yeah, the Hornets have like they do have like a lot of bad picks in them. Like I don't know what MJ's doing at this point, but I think he's just messing about. He's like, screw it, I'll mess up an organization. Like
I'd
there's
rather
only
to the Congo, to be fair. I think
yeah
he's better. He's got a lot of bam to him. He can move his feet, pass a bit.
yeah.
He's not as big as Wiseman, but
There's a lot you can bring in with a 7'1" center. Like the amount of like stopping power you have with Wiseman, defensively, like he's just so long. You just stick your arm out and you're at least blocking half the guards in the league. Like,
he's in the right spot, which
yeah,
wasn't very often.
yeah, that's true actually.
College.
But I think it's going to be hard for the Hornets to try and rebuild right now. Like, there's only so far you can go with your best player being Terry Rozier. Let's be honest.
Devontae Graham had a decent year.
Yeah, Devontae Graham,
The other
he's got time to grow into it. I think into the role.
PJ's alright. The four decent stretch four.
Yeah, Washington's decent. I think Cody Zeller, like he kind of needs to go.
Never
Like
alpha.
Miles Bridges as well. He's yet to grow into his own, but I think there's a lot of rejigging that they have to do for that. I put down here draft the best available, which is either going to be Wiseman or LaMelo. Wiseman would probably be the better fit because they have Terry Rozier. They have Devontae Graham. So Wiseman would probably be the best pick there for sure. I think we go number 4, Chicago, the Chicago Bulls. I have like looking at the Bulls roster. I feel like they need a young small forward or they trade pick. What do you think?
4. I reckon Denny, VJ
Yeah,
will probably be the pick. I'd like a Corey there, but I think it'll be a VJ.
I've got a VJ down there as well. Like he's a young, because they have Otto Porter there at the minute, and I feel like they need someone to grow into that role. They need something to keep Levine there. To be honest, like I don't think they have a lot of pieces to keep him in Chicago for very longer. If I mean, do you kind of agree with that?
I think it'd be alright if I had Jim now, aren't they? So
Like
Levine 80 then.
yeah, yeah. So like they don't need Wiseman. They don't need a power forward. They don't need a guard. Like they drafted Kobe White. They've got Laurie Markkinen. They've got Wendell Carter Jr. Obviously Levine. All they're really missing is a young small forward to like replace Otto Porter. So I think Denny kind of fits into that role pretty nicely.
Possible spot for the Warriors trade. Watch this space. Markkinen, and maybe throwing a few others for the 2.
Drafting up.
And then take LaMelo and move White down 1.
Oh,
Levine at the 3. I think I'll try that.
do you think
Markkinen, if they don't trade Markkinen for the 2, he's going at some point.
that is true.
He's so inconsistent.
He is a bit, but like he's 23 or like around about that. So he's got he's got loads of room to grow still. But I think
coach will have as well.
True. I think they just need to make sure that Levine stays. To be honest, I think he's getting frustrated in Chicago. I think everyone can pretty much see it. There's so many clips. Like he knows what should be happening with this organization. It's only a matter of time before he joins a big like trio. So I think we should move on to the 5. That is Cleveland. So who do you see Cleveland, or what do you see Cleveland doing with this pick? I have said draft a point guard. What?
Another one.
Well,
3 years in a row.
Here's me thinking, right? So Cleveland, they go and deal with Killian Haynes, right? Sexton moves to the 2. Kevin Porter Jr. moves, is at the 3. Then they've got Kevin Love and Andre Drummond.
Garland.
Derek Garland. Paul. He comes as, he's a 6. Or Haynes comes off the bench. Haynes can be a 6 man.
If they go best player available, it might be him, but I think it's Obi Toppin.
I think, to be fair, if they're lucky, Haynes will be available because he's mocked to go 4th. So I guess they'll have to wait and see if he's still available. But I think that's their pick, a point guard, anyways. Because, or maybe because I think Sexton can play the 2. It's just who. I mean, what do you see them doing with their pick?
I think they'll go Toppin, play it safe.
Yeah, I think that does kind of make sense as well. I think you just at that point you do just kind of have to go with try and get the best available. Like with these 6 picks, well, like 5 to 10, just go with the best available because there's nothing star quality about it. Like it's not 2020 or it's not 2019's draft picks, anyways. But what does Toppin bring to the Cavaliers that like some of the other players in this draft class don't? There we go.
So he's the best offensive player. Amazing finisher. Good passer as well, a big fella.
Yeah.
Slight worry that he was a very grown man amongst boys in the NCAA. He's like 22, 23. He's quite old.
Yeah, he's staying for that Che University experience, staying the 4 years. But yeah, I think Obi is a pretty good fit for them. If not,
he ain't got a prayer, but you know,
you can always try. It's either that or like a lot of these teams can just try and trade the picks for desperate other teams that are trying to rebuild. But like, there's so many picks you can trade that you don't really. I mean, like some of the teams can draft up. Like the Wizards could probably do with drafting up. Pistons potentially.
I see a lot of trades this first round.
Oh, definitely. I think
for the 30. The last 10 or so are going to go.
Yeah, I think
with the salary from the COVID situation and stuff, teams can't afford them.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really ropey draft night. A lot of players are going to be moving about and then just being traded instantly. I think it's going to be very disheartening when you're like, oh, I get drafted 7th, but they don't want me. So moving on, I think we'll go to the number 6 spot. Obi Toppin is going to be going. Well, apparently to the Hawks. I don't know if they will. I feel like I don't know what they should do with this. They got Trae Young and John Collins. So they should stay away from a point guard and a power forward. I don't know what they do in this situation. Maybe if he's available, Haynes or Devin Vassell, maybe.
I think they'll. I saw on Congo mocked to him, but that was a strange one before. Capella there. I think they need someone to get the ball out of Trae's hand a little bit. I think he has too much workload. So
a lot of usage.
If Hayes is there or Halliburton, one of the two.
Because even still, they have Clint Capella as well. So I don't think that they have room for a center either. So I think that maybe
a 2 guard.
Yeah, I was thinking that, but who's available at the 2 that would be decent?
Halliburton's a good shooter, good passer, great defender. You won't get much else out of him, but that's all they need, really. They need to go to the next level. They need pro-level players, and he's ready.
Yeah, well, when you're looking at 2 guards, nothing was really expected from Tyler Hero. Too much, anyways. But look at what he's doing now. He's performing the playoffs, ditching Giannis. That's what we love to see. So we definitely. Do you not see that the Hawks are open to a trade?
Possibly. But
it could happen.
You get much value for the 6.
Yeah, I do think if we're going from to like a 2K point standard view, like these draft picks are a 2-star trade value. If anything, like you won't when we move on to the next pick, I think I've got a pretty good trade for it that could potentially happen and potentially improve our next team. But I do think a 2 guard for for the Hawks will definitely improve them. Moving on to the seventh, they have Onyeka Okongwu going to the Detroit Pistons. I think this is a trade. I think they trade the seventh with Luke Kennard. What are your thoughts on that?
Depends what the return is, really.
Mm.
Like, of all the teams in the lottery, they're probably the one who have just nothing going for them.
Yeah.
They've not got a single player.
Them and the Hornets. Them and the Hornets. Well, kind of.
Christian Wood's good, but I don't think he's staying. Free agents.
Yeah, no, I do think he's on his way out. Like Luke Kennard is the only person there I think they can trade. Blake Griffin is not getting any younger. Derrick Rose he's all right, but there's only a few more, little
another best player available pick. Whoever drops, they're having.
Yeah, it's. I think this is going to be a very big.
They've got to swing for this one.
I think it's going to be a very big theme with these next couple picks. It's just take the best available because, just look at the workouts, take what fits your side, and with that next team, it could be defense. A big defender, and that's the New York Knicks at 8, which are looking, according to the mock draft, to sign Tyrese Halliburton. Now, what do you think is the best scenario for the New York Knicks?
He's not in. He's not a elite guard. I don't feel.
Yeah.
My pick is a Coro. He's not a Coro. I'll be devastated, to be fair.
Yeah. Do you think he's the best fit for him?
I think he's fit no, but I think he's probably the second on my big board. He's the second best player in the class.
Yeah, I think he's definitely up there. It's just like
the shooting's gonna be a massive problem, but we can make it work.
I mean,
him, RJ, Mitch. We need two proper shooters around them.
Yeah, I think RJ needs to definitely improve when it comes to shooting. Like he's not the great. I mean, he can hit when it counts, but he's not the best. Like there's only Alfred Payton. Like Alfred Payton's not the best. I mean, Julius Randle is pretty much hopeless at the moment for you guys. I don't know what it is about you guys that
we had one shooter over league average after we traded Morris.
Yeah, so I feel like I'm going to let you take this one away for a minute. Like, kind of have a bit of a rant. I mean, for those that are watching, massive Knicks fan, been devastated over the last couple of years because, I even remember last year, you were odds-on favourite for the number 1 pick. You end up getting 3rd. So, Zion was in the bag until the draft lottery. Then, well, that's horrendous. We're getting Barrett.
It's consolation prize. He's not quite John Brown, but we'll take it.
Definitely. So I think I'm just going to let you rant about what the Knicks should do just in the off season in general, and try and sort of wrap your mind around what the organization should do.
Well, or Coro with the 8 pick. Good start. 27th pick, Desmond Bain. He's my sleeper pick for the draft.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of talent there, man. I think he's a 45% from 3 over 4 years at college.
That's insane.
I think he's mocked from the 20s. It's a steal. He's a built lad as well.
He should be a top
strong guard. He's a very strong guard. So I think there's a lot of potential with him. As for the rest of the off-season, I think Fred VanVleet, big money, point guard. And then don't bring back Alfred Payton would be a start.
He's not the one, is he? He's just
shot Julius Randle around, get anything.
Yeah,
and then just fill the bench with shooting really because we haven't got any.
Do you see anything happening with Frank Ntilikina, or do you reckon you'll try and get rid of Taj Gibson? I think that's a bit of dead weight that you need to offload.
Over tips his dead body, mate. That ain't happening.
Oh, but Kevin Knox, all these guys, you got a very young core of players, but it seems like you'd just need to get rid of a lot of dead weight.
I'd trade Kevin Knox for the last pick of this draft.
I think to be fair, in New York's case, do you think that if you could trade for as many first round picks as possible, for players, do you reckon that you could do that?
I'd trade. I saw a rumored trade. I think it was Boston got the 3 first-round picks, like 15, 20 something.
Yeah,
I'd trade. The trade for all three is interesting, but we do need talent.
yeah.
It is risky.
I think a
If
lot
I
of
can trade down and get either Vassell
the
or the Coro, or even
yeah,
Poku from the, I don't know where he's from. He plays in the Greek League.
yeah.
I think he's good.
So the Knicks, are they gonna like? Do you think they can come up with some monster, or do you think they're saving their cap space for next year?
I always want Giannis. It's obvious, I think, at this point.
I think there's a bit of competition there for yeah. Everyone wants Giannis, and a lot of the names going around at the moment are the guys with the number 2 pick. That's the Golden State Warriors. Um, the other ones are Toronto. Those two just don't make sense for me. The one that I mean, this is going to be very biased right now. I see him coming to Miami. I mean, who doesn't want to come around and play with Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra? But I mean, the only thing that I don't see with that is Jimmy Butler and him getting along. Like I think Jimmy Butler works because he's not playing with a guy like Ben Simmons anymore, and
Those
that's
two with Bam as well. It's going to be the same as this year. They'll put a straight wall across the paint.
yeah.
No one's shooting. So,
And then we got we got two guards to try and get out to all the shooters. That I mean, that could probably work against us as well. Like they're gonna just shoot around us because we've got so much bodies in the paint. Whereas this season, um, the way that we are stopping guys like Giannis is with Bam Adebayo, who is kind of just the X factor of everything right now. Like he's the Giannis stopper. I know he's been labelled that in the past couple of days, but I don't know whether he's like the elite, but he was definitely a steal from the 2017 draft. Do you see anyone that might? So moving on to the number 9 pick, we've got the Wizards. Now they have their own ordeal in general because they've got Bradley Beal, who seemingly wants to move. Do you see them partnering a trade with this 9th pick and Bradley Beal to try and get like a better piece, or do you see them trading someone else to build around Bradley Beal and Hachimura?
I think I'll try and keep Bradley Beal as long as they can.
Hmm.
I think he'll ask out within the next 2 years, though.
Yeah.
If they keep Bertans as well in free agency, this pick has got to be the best defender they can get because they couldn't guard me.
Oh, you got to get those get that step back on, and you're all set. I mean, they got Thomas Bryant, who he's not the best defensively. He's a big
He's
man.
another white side.
Yeah,
He
like
just roams around,
just
hunting for blocks.
pretty much like just using his leg to try and just there we go. I'm here now. I'm a tree. But Hachimura is promising. I think they've just got to build around Beal and Hachimura at this point. John Wall ain't getting any younger. As you mentioned, Burton's is he's got to try and stay around. But do you think that they're gonna use this pick, or do you think they're gonna trade it away?
Depends. If there's an offer on the table, I think they trade it because got to keep Bradley happy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Otherwise, he's gonna throw his.
I think it's Vassell Okoro or Patrick Williams.
Yeah, I think there's like they will just take the best available. They will refer to the mock draft or whatever they see on like the draft.
They're a very very good team last season offensively.
Yeah,
Very good.
they
They
just
could guard anyone.
yeah, like they got Mo, like they got Wagner as well, who's very good at like shooting, but he's horrendous with defending.
John Wall
So
will have a lot, but if he's got anything left,
he's
but
30 now. So
coming off 2
he,
years out, was it?
yeah, I think that he's got. I think Wall's got 2 years left on his contract. Um, Bradley Beal, he's got 3 years, right?
Yeah, he re-signed last year. I think
Yeah,
it's two after this one.
yeah. So he's got a 3 year. So they've nailed them down. It's just whether Bradley Beal demands a trade at this point, but they might not even let him go. So I mean, there was a point where I mean, I was hoping anyways we were going to get Bradley Beal and Jimmy Butler as like the tandem. Like that'd be amazing. But then we brought in Tyler Hero, and as we all know, Tyler Hero is a walking bucket. But like Bradley Beal. Do you think he just needs to get out of Washington?
Yeah, I'd like to see him on a proper team,
Mm,
but it's up to him.
yeah, it's if he's happy, to be honest.
He
Like,
got paid, so
yeah,
can't be that miserable.
he's getting stacks. Speaking of those getting stacks, so I guess the guy that's just been kind of re-signed by the Suns, Devin Booker. He's got 4 years on his contract here in the Suns. Do they just try and pick around Devin Booker right now? They just got to try and draft as many players as possible around Devin Booker, and obviously DeAndre Ayton.
What I read is they're going to trade the pick
Hmm.
with Oubre to try and free up some cap space to go for a free agent. I don't know who they're going for, but I assume it's Van Vliet or Bertans. But
I think that could work. They just got to try and stop Booker from going and playing with D'Angelo and Cat, really, because they've all said that they
yeah,
want to create a
it's
super
a
team.
very short window to keep him.
Yeah,
I think they need to go all out while they've got him.
yeah. I think there's 1 year. This 1 year, if they don't make the playoffs, because they were undefeated in the bubble and they didn't make the playoffs, so there's promise there. But do you think that they can carry on the momentum and keep on with a 10th draft pick, or even trade in for some cap space and they bring in a guy like Fred VanVleet?
If they put some proper veterans around that young core, I reckon they can make the playoffs next season.
Yeah, I mean they made it they almost made it this season with Ricky Rubio at the point. If they bring in Fred, they've got a very good start. I mean, they've got a very good four. They've got Booker, Ayton, Kelly Oubre Jr., and then they'll have Fred VanVleet. They got Baines coming off the bench as well, who isn't too shabby. I think
Mikal was coming on quite well in the bubble.
yes,
A few
like
20-point games in the what was it called? What they called them? Scrimmages? The scrimmages.
yeah,
Had a few 20-point games.
and like I think the only area that they struggle in is the power forward position. Like they got Dario Saric, who's he, he he can do a job, but he's not like someone that you can build a team around. Like he's not like someone that you want to put in a piece with a world class player like Devin Booker. Um, do you see them like including like a couple players like trying to trade like they can trade for a player and more cap space just so they can fill in that power forward role as well.
Well, I think everything's on the table for the Suns this season.
Mm.
They always love a draft surprise.
Yeah,
Cam Johnson last year, everyone said it was a reach, but
it's
he
worked
works
out.
out quite well. Good shooter.
Yeah. So what are we saying for the draft? Who do you say is going to win the draft? Who are we predicting for the victory?
I think whoever ends up with Poku in the teens is
Yeah,
going to be very happy. That's a special player. If he puts on some weight,
yeah.
7-footers don't move like that.
He is
Yeah.
he's a big player to try and get, and I can't help but feel that the Timberwolves might win.
Anthony Edwards.
I feel like Edwards is a really good pick. I don't know about
He's
you, but like
very boom or bust, I feel. I think it's low floor and very high ceiling.
I do think there is a lot on his plate. I do think there is a lot to do with I think there's a lot of expectations. Unlike Zion, who came in and was like ready to storm the league, I feel like he is going to be, he's going to be the weight's going to be definitely on his shoulders. Um, you know what? If this mock draft is correct, I actually would be happy with Miami's pick in RJ Hampton. I do think that he could come in and pull some shifts off the bench, especially with an aging Goran Dragic, who, I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to be. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm the biggest college basketball fan in the world, but what's RJ Hampton like that could offer to Miami?
Sorry, say that again.
RJ Hampton to the Heat. What do you think he offers to the Heat that like someone else might not in this draft class?
I don't think you'll get much out of him for the first two. I think he's a project pick, long-term one. So if you're a team like Miami is a good spot for him. He can develop, not play too many minutes, similar to Bol for the Nuggets and Michael Porter. give him time to bed in, and then come on. He's a very special athlete, vertical, quick. He's got big size, like 6'5", isn't he?
6'4", I think. 6'4".
6'4".
But
Very raw though.
I'm not sure if he can he shoot the ball very well, because that's what this Miami team is kind of going around now.
I don't think he's not a terrible shooter. He's not.
He can be groomed into a great shooter.
League average would be very, very realistic. Who are we saying for Rookie of the Year?
Rookie of the oh man.
These lot.
I'm gonna just take a stab in the dark. It's gonna be someone that gets a lot of game time, isn't it? I don't see a lot of these guys getting a lot of game time. Anyways, LaMelo could, Wiseman could, but it's all about whether they get put in the right situation. It's got to be Obi or Killian Haynes.
Or Obi on the Cavs. That's a fantasy pick as well.
Obi on the Cavs could do it. It's going to be. It's the thing is, right. It's like the mock draft. It's not going to be the top 3.
The best player from this class will go late, I feel, after 5.
Yeah, I do think Obi is a good shout, and Killian Haynes, I do think, could have a shout if he gets drafted to Chicago, maybe. But they could. I think Denny has a good chance of going to Chicago. I think he has the best chance of going to Chicago, anyways. Denny has a shout for Rookie of the Year, I guess.
He's bulked up a lot as well recently. There's a picture. You can search it on Twitter. Ridiculous.
All right, so those are our predictions for the NBA draft. We'll probably come in after try and review our predictions and see what happens in October on the actual draft. But as far as this goes, Adam, thank you for joining me. Hopefully you aren't too upset with how the Knicks are going to be performing in the off season.
I'm sure we'll be all right. Believe in Leon.
I don't think a lot of people do at this stage. I don't think a lot of Knicks fans do, anyways. I think that a lot of Knicks fans might have lost a bit of hope.
Well, let's sort them out.
So if you guys have enjoyed this podcast, make sure you follow us on social media and everything. If you're watching, down in the description, and if you are watching on YouTube, would you mind subscribing, liking the video, sharing it around with all of your basketball friends? We're going to try and grow the UK basketball scene as much as possible. Go and follow Adam on Instagram as well, and on Twitter. Links in the description. You're quite the entertaining man on your socials, aren't you?
That's right.
He's got quite the audience. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Let's Talk Basketball podcast, and we will see you next time.